And good afternoon. Welcome along to our weekly Monday rendezvous with the world of games. We've got a nice full studio this week, which is how we like it, Jason. Not only are you and me, in fact, we can go and have a lie down, I think, for an hour or so. We've got some eats as ever joining us. Hi.
Good to be back. I missed out last week.
You did. But doing a wonderful job last week. We had Sparkileptic.
Hey, how you guys doing?
And also Fifi Prosper from
Hi,
Region 2. Is it, what is it? The
Arab world's favorite girl gamer. Hey, there you go.
That's Fifi Prosper.
I'm just repping Arab girls who game and who enjoy this genre. So
right, fantastic.
A big high five.
Yeah. Well, great to have you all along. I'm going to get straight into the hot topic of the day. I saw pictures a couple of days ago in the press of what could be the all new PlayStation 4.
Yeah, and
doesn't it look great?
To be honest, we don't know exactly what it looks like. I'm surprised you saw pictures or anything.
Yeah, I was just telling him the same thing. It's all about tech. I think nothing's been really 100%. It's not really. We're not sure yet.
No, and I mean, do we know that's how it's going to look? I mean, it was a little bit like this with the iPhone, wasn't it? Before
that's true.
We've seen things with halograms and also, and of course it didn't materialize.
What we're going to see this actually just came out recently, is that on Feb 1st, Sony PlayStation released the first teaser trailer of saying that a PlayStation announcement is going to be made on February 20th, and people are already expecting that it's going to be the PS4. It's going to be some huge announcement. It has to be. And Wall Street Journal just confirmed as well that it's going to be the PS4 announcement. But we're not going to know anything till the actual date itself, and I'm already looking forward to it. I think the best question to ask out there, I'm going to throw this out to the fans, 4001 along with your name. What do you think the PS4 is going to be like? What do you think of the next generation of graphics? What do you think is going to be the next kind of player? I mean, they introduced DVD before that, Blu-ray. What's the next big thing in that? What are the features that you want in it? They're just going to throw it out there, 4001.
What do you think, Fifi? I mean, the PS3 is brilliant. I mean, how are they going to improve on it?
Well, first, I'm surprised that they actually brought something up about the PS4 before a big reveal from Microsoft Xbox. I mean, last year Sony said they were not going to release anything before Xbox releases something, just in case they don't want any technology copied or they don't want anything to be inspired by the PlayStation. So really, like, the fact that they brought this whole thing up is pretty exciting. I mean, this is a huge console change, and I know for sure that they're keeping the mechanics of the PlayStation 3 in it, just advancing the technology further. What do you think, Sparkileptic?
Yeah, well, no, most definitely, 100%. I mean, because, the PlayStation 3 has been such a massive success. On a commercial level, sometimes you might look at it as a bit of a slump. The Xbox sometimes was gaining more, but the new PlayStation 4 is definitely going to be something awesome. I believe it's going to be pushing for more digital content, much more than actual DVDs or Blu-rays, because this is where the world is going. So even when it comes to gaming or movies, it's all going to be probably mostly download only. They can't get rid of the disk drive just yet, not yet, but I believe they're going to be starting pushing for digital only.
I will say one thing, though. I think before we continue this topic, let me just first, I wasn't here last week, so I didn't get a chance to, let me just inaugurate the fact, Region 2, welcome to GameOn show. If anything,
Thank you so much. And we did miss you last week. I mean, you have pretty big shoes. We tried to fill, so they're...
big shoes.
Big feet come with big shoes. But coming back to the topic on hand with the PS4, I think one of the big things many people are expecting is that after Blu-ray, is there really the next big disc change? Are we looking at the next big high-definition resolution disc? And I personally, the first thing I'm going to predict on the PS4 is, because it will be called the PlayStation 4, mainly because 4K is now the next generation of high-def. So I think they're going to support 4K, if anything.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised if at last E3, we've already seen the next generation games that will come out by this December, in time for the PS4 to be out this November.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited for, the games. I mean, once you have a reveal for the console, that means you're going to see the games that developers have been working on behind closed doors without actually talking to anyone about it.
Exactly.
So that should be exciting.
One message come along, not quite sure what they're getting at. P4 should take to the real world.
Oh, okay. Like the movie Gamer. That's what I think. Like hologram and virtual and and actual social interaction. Well, to be honest, that's not really a game. Why don't you just go out there and start talking to people?
I mean, Microsoft released a tech demo about something called, I'm not sure if you guys saw it, some sort of an illusion where you're playing a game and then it kind of goes outside of the screen.
Illuminaroom.
That's it. So I believe that's one step closer. Having the game completely in real life, that's sometime in the future, and it'll be awesome. It'll be a very nice experience.
I mean, we're looking at an announcement this month, but, in reality, is it going to be another couple of years? Or
I think November. I actually think this November, because this is the first time they're coming out this soon with an announcement. Normally, everybody would have predicted E3 next year release.
Yeah, that's what we were predicting before this press release.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're saying E3. That's when they're going to show off the new consoles.
And I think what's going to happen is that they're going to announce it now. At E3, they're going to release the price along with the release date. But I'm predicting release date November, price $400, $399.
Does that make any difference to the PS3? In as much that if I'm thinking about. Yeah. I'm thinking about purchasing one now, and an announcement comes out, like you say, in November.
Hold up on it then.
Yeah,
hold up on it.
The thing is, the PlayStation 3 is definitely going to have a price cut when the PS4 is going to be revealed. But they're not going to kill off the PlayStation 3. But at the same time, the PlayStation 4 is probably not going to be backwards compatible with PlayStation 3. So they're going to maintain that kind of market.
What do you think, Samir?
No, I don't think so.
Backwards.
I think it will be backward compatible. I think because the PS3 is still strong. I think PS2, since that's over with, that's going to be done. PS1 also done. I think the next step of what I'm predicting, full digital download games.
Yeah, I agree with you with that. Digital, I agree with you all the way.
All right, then. So that's some of our panel's thoughts. If you've got any, 4001 on what you think, could be in this announcement. It might be a big letdown, and there's no
like PS4. A new color for the PS Vita.
Yeah, right.
No, but I think what we're going to see in the next generation, one of the big things about the PS4 that people have already been speculating about, that the DualShock standard PS controller is over. Like, it's now the next generation of controllers that we're going to look at here. So, could the PS Move be the next step of the PS4 controller?
I hope not. I really hope not. I mean, like, the PlayStation controller is excellent. Like, it's such a comfortable joypad. But they cannot move so far from what people have grown up with and what people have gotten used to and what developers have gotten used to. Like using their games for. So really, I hope not, because the PlayStation Move controller is a little bit different than the actual
I mean, they can
joypad.
modify the 6-axis controller by having touch panels, and they're saying that the central side of the joypad will actually have a share button where while you're playing, it's rumored that the video game will be constantly recording your last 15 minutes of gameplay, and by a single press of the button, you share that gameplay with whatever YouTube account you may have. So, but these are all rumors. We'll find out all these details by the 20th of February.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Book of Spells controller that's there for the PlayStation 4. You open a book and
imagine it's like
the
a
controller
magic
comes
wand.
out.
You'd be stabbing a Sony fan here.
Well, one of our listeners saying, I'm excited, can't wait. It should have better graphics. I think that's
almost definitely
pretty much it.
graphics.
Okay, my question to the fans as well is going to be this: how much would you pay for the PS4? What is your pricing point for it? I mean, and be realistic. Don't say I'll pay nothing.
Free.
I want free. Like, be realistic. How much would you actually pay to have the first PS4 in the Middle East? Give us your answer.
First PS4?
Yeah.
How important is timing on something like this, on when they release it? It's almost like a movie, isn't it? They've got to release it at the right time.
Right.
It's crucial because now they've kind of upped the ante for Microsoft to release something about the Xbox. Now it's the ball's in their court, and not just that. I mean, everyone's looking forward to the big exhibitions coming up, like Gamescom and like E3. So
and then especially that they want to release the console specifically a bit before. I think it was very smart if they do release it in November, the way Sumit is saying, right before the holidays. So people would have had at least 1 month to look at the adverts and go through the magazines, and read some stuff before. Let's just buy this. So I think it'll be smart.
Do you think that it could be angled? We've got this sort of date in a way of November, but angled around some sort of big exhibition taking place that they would like to make this huge announcement?
E3, PAX, Tokyo Game Show, and what's the other one that happens in Germany?
Gamescom.
But they're all before November. Games 13 Dubai?
Sure.
But we do fully support exhibitions that happen in the Middle East concerning gaming.
Where I see it, Video Games Live could be making an announcement around PS4.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We might hear
awesome.
something anytime now.
Okay, we'll take the break. 4001 gamers, if you've got any questions this week, not only on that announcement, of course, but on the games that we're going to be reviewing. We're going to be looking at Dead Space 3 and also Crisis 3. They're both on our playlist this afternoon. Okay, coming back talking games. We're going to be getting into our first review very shortly. Before that, question come along, and I think this is a really interesting one. Are consoles still relevant with cheaper, more powerful PCs available? What are we playing our games on?
Consoles.
Consoles.
I'll give you my 2 cents when it comes to that. I understand where his question is coming, or her question is coming from. PCs can generate much stronger graphics. They have much faster processors, and they're updated on a constant basis. While consoles usually get outdated. For example, the PlayStation 3 is 7 years old in regards to technology.
Yeah.
Are they relevant? Well, I'll tell you what. We'll have that conversation when the Steam box is out, when Nvidia's Shield are out, when you have so many home consoles that actually could compete with Sony and Microsoft. We have the Ouya coming up in March. So I think that would be an interesting time to discuss that.
Fifi, what do you play most of your games on?
Well, recently I've been playing a lot of games on the PC, but before that I was a huge PS fan. But before that I was a PS4.
Hey.
PS3 fan.
For the future. Hello, welcome.
I'm from the future, guys.
There's something
you know
that we don't know.
Yeah, but it's just like the listener was correct. I mean, the graphics on the PC are always updated, but also in the console's defense, some games are exclusive to the consoles, and a lot of indie games are.
And there's the other thing. I'm playing more games now on an iPad than I am on any kind of
absolutely, and that's another thing
console,
to compete
because
with.
you can do it on the move.
That's true.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
But I'm still going to say that I strongly disagree. I think PC games are over. They're done. I say that, no. There's a reason why I say this. I mean, don't get me wrong. I obviously started playing Prince of Persia on the PC. I'm looking forward to the next SimCity on the PC. That's for sure. But I think when it comes to the mass majority of games, console has definitely taken over.
I think that becomes that's because of your nostalgia towards the gaming. I mean, you've been gaming for so long.
No.
There's another thing. The people that are just coming into this casually, they've bought themselves a nice phone or an iPad or whatever. Might be their first kind of introduction into gaming.
I guess, but the way I see it is that it's not so much as I mean, look at it. Okay, if you want to play a video game, okay, go buy a shell, buy a graphics card, buy speakers, buy a screen. You gotta do all that. Why don't you just buy a PlayStation or an Xbox, put the game in and play?
But it'll be outdated so soon. I mean, like
7 years is not outdated. Look at the graphics that are coming out on it.
Compare the graphics of a game on the PS and compare, or the Xbox, just to be fair to all consoles, and compare it on the PC. I mean, the PC has a certain crispness.
All right, we're going to leave it there.
No.
This is one that could rage on.
Heated debate.
4001. Keep your thoughts coming along.
Console for life.
Okay, first game, Dead Space 3. What do we know about this?
Dead Space 3 is an action-adventure thriller game, which you know as how I am with horror games. I freak out. And one of the most crucial things you're going to see about this game is the graphic content. First of all, let me advise parents, this is an 18-rated game. Mature audiences only rated for this game. But the storyline takes place as sort of like a Resident Evil kind of scenario, but in space, if anything. So you actually deal with a lot of alien creatures and viruses that are dealt in space. You have the ability of gravity behind you. So you're kind of comparing this with the movie of James Cameron, Aliens, alongside with Resident Evil, combination of the two.
Okay.
And what you're going to see is a third-person action-adventure thriller with tons of chills and music environments where you actually get to feel the full horrorness of alien horror.
And it's multiplayer also. First game, the Dead Space franchise to be multiplayer. So I'm sure Fifi Prosper would be interested in that.
I mean, I love multiplayer, and it's something I always enjoy when a game is released. I love the multiplayer aspect of it. And like Sunit
just explain that for people that don't know what you mean.
Multiplayer is when you can play with friends. It's when you can play also like online with other people that you may not know or know. Everyone's on a server basically. Just a quick preview of it. But basically, it's exciting because this means you can play two-player, you can play with your friends. It doesn't have to be a solitary experience with the characters.
Single-player co-op, so you're playing the single-player campaign in co-op mode. So it's not really competitive. It's the both of you going through the campaign mode.
Yeah, and it's like Samit said. I mean, it's a big visual treat, and I'm the kind of gamer who really appreciates graphics. Like I'm a designer by trade, so I can't help but look how beautiful the visuals are. And I mean, I completely agree with Samit on that one.
I think one of the most fun things I look forward to is that me and Fifi playing a co-op mode together, and we both get scared and switch off both our televisions.
I'll be there with the camera to document that 100%. So.
All right, let's have a listen in then from the developers of this one, Dead Space 3.
So a little bit about Dead Space 3. It's a story of Isaac Clarke and kind of a story about redemption. He is on a quest to eradicate the necromorph infestation from the universe for all time. He has to find Ellie, who was one of the characters from Dead Space 2. And if you play in co-op, he also teams up with a new character whose name is John Carver. He's a hardened soldier who's got a mission to kind of redeem himself as well. when you play in co-op, they team up together, and hopefully, if you do play your cards right, you can take down the necromorphs for all time.
You're the rocket scientist, you tell me! I work on ships, not giant drills. Just look for an override.
We built it for cooperative play from the ground up. So from the very first day, as soon as we were rolling off of Dead Space 2, we knew this was something we wanted to do. We haven't taken away any of the resources from single player because we know, as the true fans and like the people who care about Dead Space the most, that we had to keep that solitary, isolated, thrilling experience intact. So when you play in single player, it's important to know that there is no AI follower who's following you around. It's the classic Dead Space gameplay that you've come to love. It's only when you choose to team up in co-op that John Carver joins you in your adventure. And the whole time that we were building the game, we knew that we just wanted to make one campaign. This isn't a game where you have a single-player mode and a cooperative mode. They're the same thing. But when you play in co-op, you'll experience additional story details that you don't see in single-player. These are the story parts that John Carver is a part of. Isaac and John have to learn to rely on each other in order to survive. So our co-op is online only, but the cool thing about it is that it's drop in, drop out. So right from the pause menu, you can invite a friend to play, and as soon as you hit a new checkpoint, he'll be right by your side. And he can drop out at any time. So if you wanted to have like an epic Dead Space marathon session, you could play with 3 different friends throughout the night, kick them out, play in the single-player solitaire experience for a while, and then when the going gets too rough, you want to have some backup and have somebody watch your back, hey, you can play in co-op again.
So there it is, whatever mode you play in Dead Space 3.
Console mode.
Is that out now, guys?
That will be out, surprisingly enough, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, okay,
yeah.
So we're right on the nail there. Are you guys going to be queuing up to get a copy of that?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I'll be scared.
A little scary for you.
We'll give you a call, tell you how it goes.
Okay, well, we kind of stirred a little bit of a hornet's nest today. I didn't realise there was this kind of, battle between PC gamers and console. Apparently, we've damaged the credibility of the show by saying PC games are history. Quickly, without getting into any arguments, what's your take on that? Let's start with Fifi there.
I think PC gaming is a huge part of the industry. Like it or not, you're gonna have to live with it.
Come on. No, I strongly disagree with that. I do believe PC games are on the way downwards. People are easily going into the Xbox, the PlayStations, the PS4, the handheld devices, the iPhones, the iPads, the Androids, the Blackberries, all that.
All right. I agree with that.
But if I were 100%, I agree with the both of you. But think about it this way: someone who enjoys games, for example,
on the fence.
Someone who enjoys games, for example, MMORPGs like World of Warcraft or Star Wars or Guild Wars, would totally disagree with you and tell you can't get that kind of experience on consoles. So there's a strong market for PCs regardless. I'm not on either side. I believe both have to hold hands. There are certain advantages for both.
I'm going to throw this to the fans out there. If you could play all your PC games on a console, would you do it?
And which console would it be?
No.
Right, another one, another observation coming in. As an example, comparing Battlefield 3 on the PC and consoles is like comparing a YouTube TV with the latest 4K HD
I'd have to agree.
TV.
I'd have to agree. The potential of the PC when it comes to graphical power prowess is much stronger than the console.
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that there is power behind a PC, but you can't buy it in stock. You have to build it. That's why cost comes into play. Gaming should not be so costly nowadays.
But maybe,
should be convenience.
Yeah.
But there's a whole community of gamers here that love their computers, and that's why we have Computer Plaza somewhere in Dubai.
Yeah.
How many gaming stores are there in Dubai? We got to find this out.
There are a ton of them.
Just a quick note also. It's just like it's like telling someone, why go rig your own car from the ground up? It's like telling to someone who loves cars, just buy a Toyota. Cars should not be that expensive. You can go from places. You love cars, Sumit.
I do.
Would
love
you
cars.
appreciate me if I told you, why do you even pay that much for a car?
I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
Because it's the luxury that I can afford to pay. At the same time, it's the PC. Not everybody has the luxury of that. when it comes to PlayStation, Xbox, it's the convenience that, hey, if I want to play a game, at least I know it's ready for me. It's simple, and like at the same time, you cannot play it on a big screen as well.
Fifi, you want to come in?
But okay, so you
There's
bought
Steam
that
big
car.
screen, but still.
You got that car. It's awesome. It's beautiful, and it's the top of the line.
Right.
And then a year passes, and then you want to upgrade that car, and you want to upgrade this part, and you want to just update the upholstery or whatever it is, and you can't.
No, agreed.
And this is the problem between PC and console.
I fully agree, but what is my thing? Am I just trying to use the car just to show that I've got a high-end PC, or am I trying to get from point A to point B? What I want to do is get from point A to point B. Whether I want to get to it in style, that's at my convenience.
All right. We'll let it rest there.
Right.
We'll keep them coming in. Wow.
I was going to say, we've got one here.
A girl gamer on the show. That's rare. And
Fifi for president.
Hey, Fifi Prosper for the win.
Thank you guys so much.
Our world's favorite girl gamer, Fifi Prosper on GameOn.
Follow us on Region 2.
Okay, we've got some more coming in on this topic, which we'll take a look at a little bit later on. For now, though, Dead Space 3 coming out tomorrow. Is this going to be a big seller?
Yes, we expect to be a big seller right now, yes.
Yes.
Fifi.
Yes.
Unanimous across the board.
All right, so
we're all friends on this one.
Dead Space 3, we're all agreeing on that. We're going to go to the news headlines, which are next on Dubai Eye. Then, of course, our regular top 10. We'll be looking about what some of the games that you've been buying over the last few days, and also some more games to look at. Crisis 3, and I'm sure more on this debate that's bubbling, PCs versus consoles. That's all on the way.
At number 10 is WWE 13 for the PS3. Number 9 is Hitman Absolution for the PS3. Number 8 is FIFA 13 for the Xbox 360. At number 7 is Assassin's Creed 3 for the PS3. Dancing its way to number 6, it's Dance Central 3 for the Xbox 360. At number 5 is Call of Duty Black Ops 2 for the Xbox 360. At number 4, it's FIFA 13 again for the PS3. At number 3 is Pro Evolution Soccer 2013 for the PS3. Coming in at number 2 is Far Cry 3 for the PS3. And still staying at number 1 is Call of Duty Black Ops 2 for the PS3. When will it go away?
Wow. Still number 1. How many months has it been? 3, 4 months now?
4 months now. Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's one of those games that certainly ain't going to go away from that number 1 spot for a long time.
Not for a while.
Let's just kind of take a look down that chart, and Dance Central 3, nice to see that. A party game in there at number 6. Maybe not for all the serious gamers.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
But Fifi?
Fifi, and we've had another kind of compliment about Fifi, which I'll come to in a minute. Are you into these dance games?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love music, and I love
Open Gangnam Style.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think this is a great game. I mean, you could dance, you can have fun, listen to music, play with your friends,
yourself too seriously.
Be silly. Exactly.
Do you think it's kind of taken over from where Guitar Hero left off?
I'm a big Guitar Hero Rock Band. I'm a bit of a Rock Band fan, and I know the whole mechanics of the guitar stuff. But I mean, it's a completely different style. I mean, one. Sorry,
go. Sorry.
But I mean, at parties, do you think this is probably more popular now than Guitar?
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, most definitely. I mean, 2 different games. I was about to say DDR, for example, Dance Dance Revolution has been there way before Guitar Hero was. So 2 different things. One has not replaced the other. It's just right now the guitar-based games have dropped in popularity. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm still sticking with that thing at E3 that. This E3, Guitar Hero will come back.
You think so?
I think so.
I want Rock Band to come back.
I want Rock Band to come back. Hardcore.
I will say one thing, though, that if you want to check out how Fifi Prosper dances to Gangnam Style, go to Region 2 and watch a video of me and Fifi Prosper, as well as Mr. Ken Ichiro from Tajima Productions, all of us dancing together right here in Region 2.
And, of course, it's youtube.com/The Region 2 Show, 2 being the number 2.
All right, we've had a few SMSs come along. We'll just take a look at some of those. Starting at the PC games, the reason that PC games are dead is because you don't have so much choice in stores. You know why? Because the PC game is already on the digital platform. such as in Steam or Origin.
I disagree with that. It's the same thing with the PS3 and the Xbox. It's also up there on the stores as well. What's the difference?
Well, I think what he's trying to say is because maybe some people think that the PC is dead and out of the business because when you go to retailers, all you see is Xbox, PlayStation, Wii or Wii U, and no PC or very few PC because everything's already on the digital, digital platform.
Everything's gone digital.
So. All right, let's get to some more of our listeners' thoughts.
There's one there, Mark. I don't know, he probably does it anyway. Sumit, it says, ever heard of connecting your PC to your big screen using an HDMI cable?
No, I've not done that.
I'm sure you haven't, no.
Okay, and we'll have one more for now before we get into our next game. I have Dead Space 3 for the PC. PCs are awesome. So are consoles. Don't discredit the creator of the console games.
That's my kind of gamer.
That's my kind of gamer. I respect him for that.
All right. Okay, let's get into our next game. What we're going to be talking about.
I think we're going to touch on a first-person shooter that actually defines PC, if anything, Crysis 3.
Is it still defining it?
I would think so. And Crysis 3 is known for being a high-definition, high-resolution, intensely packed game where you will see the most stunning graphics on any console, on any Xbox, or any device for that matter. And in this case, it really tested the limits of the PC when it first came out with the first Crysis. Introducing the Crysis engine that took place within the actual build of this game, it requires such high-end PCs to be used that even like you had to have two supercomputers to actually run the thing in full HD, and it just looked great. It looks stunning, looks simple, and now with the compression of the Crytek engine, they've modified it for it to be compatible with the current generation of Xboxes and PS3s. Crysis 3 runs the storyline of a continuation super soldier that you play, who has the ability to travel to various areas, teleportation, and has many weapons at his disposal. And one of the most intense things that you're going to see in Crysis 3 is that the first one was in a jungle. The second one took place in New York City. This one is a combination of the both, where New York City is in a post-apocalyptic jungle kind of scenario.
Okay.
And you're going to see some really great interaction between the character, the main protagonist, and the characters that he's trying to defeat as well.
Spark.
What's the interest when it comes to Crysis 3? I'm asking this from a first-person shooter perspective. I mean, it's going into a market that's so rich with first-person shooters. What's it offering to the table that would really allow it to stand out?
I think one of the things with Crysis is that you're going to see great high-end graphics behind it, a great customization option between the characters, so you actually get to customize for your own liking as a character. And third, it's the intensity and the action that comes into play. You're not actually technically playing just a regular first-person shooter. It really feels like a true simulation to the game, not to mention with all the high-end PCs and the home cinemas and the home theaters out there. This really puts your bang for buck out there to test out the true sound and experience of an actual next-generation game.
Would Crysis 3 look better on a PC or on a console?
I wouldn't know that. I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to answer that.
We'll put that one to our listeners, I think. 4001. Maybe the developers will tell us.
My name is Rasmus Højengård. I'm Director of Creative Development, which is kind of a global role within Crytek. I'm involved in all our projects. And on Crysis 3, I've mainly been dealing with developing the characters and the story for the game. I mean, right now we're doing everything we can to make sure that whatever we develop for PC is translatable into some variation on console. I mean, obviously we're limited by things such as memory, but we have brilliant R&D guys, so they're able to do things still that no one has done on consoles before, and things that should theoretically only be DX11 render features or whatever, they managed to make DX9 versions of that run on consoles. So what's important is that the experience don't change, right? You shouldn't sit consciously and go like, wow, this doesn't feel like on PC. That's what we want to avoid. So we really put a lot of effort into making sure that these things translate across. Obviously limited by certain things like memory that we can't do anything about. But I'm pretty sure it's going to look stellar on consoles as well. So you don't even know yet if there's going to be a multiplayer, right? And you're not going to be able to rhetorically lure me into saying that there is one. No, we're not talking about that now, but that will be revealed later on. The one we do have now is the regular arrowhead, which is the one you can fire while you're cloaked, which adds a lot of variety to the stealth gameplay. The second one is more of a frag grenade type warhead that is a little easier than throwing a grenade, right? The trajectory is a little bit easier to deal with because you have the whole aim thing going on. But there's going to be a number of other arrowheads that you will be able to equip the bow with. The thing I can say though is that they don't all just do damage. They will have all kinds of different functionalities that you can use when you're playing your strategy. As soon as you've done a couple of iterations of a game in a franchise, everybody starts understanding really profoundly what it is you're trying to achieve, which means that at the get-go, you do things right. You know, so there's a lot less iteration and trial and error, which means you can get to the result you want to much quicker than you can when you are, doing a new IP.
Coming back with GameOn, thank you everyone sending along text messages this week. Coming back to the PC versus console debate, even if it wasn't the update aspect of the PC, I'll always love my old school Counter-Strike, Clan Wars. Can't even imagine that on a console. And yes, I'd vote for Fifi.
That's 2 votes right there.
Fifi for president all the way. Thank you guys so much for your support.
Okay, so there we are. That's obviously stirred up a little bit of a nest.
I don't think there's nothing to stir up in there. I'm still gonna stand my way up there and still say that PCs are on the downward turn. Consoles are coming up so fast now.
For PC gamers, calling someone a console gamer is an insult.
Yes, people take that to
You're
heart.
a console gamer.
You PC gamers are too emotional about your PCs.
I'm a gamer. I don't mind. I'm a gamer.
I guess it just depends on what kind of gamer you are. I mean, if you like games like World of Warcraft and these sort of games like MMOs, I mean,
okay,
you can't really do that on a console,
Why not? Because it's not
Although
there
I love
yet.
consoles, I'm just saying.
I know. I mean, but that's what I mean. Like, if World of Warcraft were to come out on a console, and you can actually connect a keyboard to it, what will stop you?
Well, DC Universe was that for a while. I think the one on the PlayStation.
No keyboard, though.
No keyboard, correct.
Okay.
All right, let's get away from the shooting games and
debate.
Let's kind of get the grey matter in the brain going. And this looks a little bit different. Concentration training, Brain Age.
Brain Age, and I must say it's an excellent game to play out there. This is a game that came out on the first Nintendo DS and has transpired the idea of actually using your brain function to play these puzzles and games on the move. And one of the most fun things about this is that it's come out for the 3DS now, so you get 3D puzzles to actually try out for your brain.
Okay.
And how this works is that there's a certain doctor that they built in the game, which surprisingly enough looks like Mr. Satoru Iwata, who's the president of Nintendo Japan. And
just by coincidence.
By coincidence, if anything. And he basically talks about the idea that with Brain Age, that how the functions of your brain actually work, when you're watching television, when you're reading a book, and so forth. So this game is developed in such a way to actually stimulate the right hand side of your brain, such as when you're watching television too often. So it actually brings up the idea of making your reflexes faster, making you think faster, open your mind to other things. So he's developed a video game for that, and it has picked up drastic fan base behind this.
Massive success.
I often watch that girl that goes round, when it comes up on your screen.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. And a lot of people in the office actually only works on one side. It only goes round. But for me, I think she goes round both ways. But this is just stimulated. So what's the mechanic of this?
The mechanic of this is that it's very simple. It's a multi-puzzle game, and it'll utilize the full features of the 3DS. In this case, I can only talk about the previous one because this is the first one coming out of 3DS. And one of the features that they did on the DS was that as you're looking at the DS, there's a microphone built into it. There'll be a screen up there. It'll ask you to say the color that is on the screen, and you will see a word, in fact. So if it says black and the word black is written in yellow, you have to say yellow. So it tries to trick your brain into functioning faster.
Quick IQ kind of test, but really entertaining, short bursts, small bursts. Fifi Prosper and I really loved it. The first round of the DS.
Absolutely.
Because it can sound, obviously the adventure games and action games and so on, that's what you're really into, but this is sort of a pleasant change, is it?
Absolutely. I mean, it's nice picking up the DS just to play a quick 3-minute game, and this is something actually the game wants you to do. It wants you to pick it up every day, at least for just a few minutes, and just sharpen up your skills, your cognitive skills, your verbal skills, your
keep track of your progress. So you have a calendar, and you have to go a daily training. And then if you don't go to the daily training, the doctor berates you, say, "You've missed yesterday's training. What's wrong with you?"
It's like missing the gym.
Yeah, it's like having a personal trainer inside the DS working your brain out. So it's actually very interesting.
It's a bit like Sims in a way. It's much that you can sort of be...
Samit is the big Sims fan here. So
I am a big Sims fan.
Not Sims, I didn't mean in that way, but that actually where you're gaining points or whatever because you are in attendance and you know... like that. Yeah. And what about this? What about the same questions? Does it come back to that black strip and it's still yellow in yellow or does it change?
It
when
changes every time. Every time it changes. And each day as you keep progressing, it'll get faster. There'll be different puzzles. Okay. There'll be more unlockables. I mean, there's even Sudoku puzzles built into it, so you can actually play Sudoku to stimulate your mind even with that. Okay. But one of the most amazing aspects of this game is the fact that it's designed that anybody can pick up and play, like just what they did with the Wii, the Wii U, and so forth.
Yeah,
they're doing it with the 3DS now. And one of the fun parts about this is that you can actually compare with your friends and see, like, okay, like he has scored this high in this. You can have unlocks in this, and even downloadable content for it. And now that it's in 3D, I actually look forward to seeing what it looks like.
Well, you can't share that. You can't share this as a game. It's not playing contestant against contestant.
You can.
It could be the 3DS. It could be via Wi-Fi connectivity. Connect two 3DS together. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to jump in. We've had so many text messages coming. So before we get to the end, we're just going to acknowledge these. Attach a keyboard. How about using a PC instead? That was attaching a keyboard. All right, we'll move on from that. Any update? Any update on the PS4? Of course, we spoke about this at the start of the show. February 20th. There's going to be an update. And The Last Guardian. Do we know?
He's back, the Last Guardian.
Yeah. No.
Okay, Region 2, I'm going to say this right now. This guy has been with us for about a year and a half since Last Guardian, and he's been on every show. First of all, we should all say thank you for being a strong supporter and asking us this question.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, coming this June, this E3, we will have more news of The Last Guardian.
Fingers crossed. I'd love to see that game.
Okay, moving on. Hi, guys. Good topic this week. I like the console because of the joystick. Is there any compatible joystick for a PC game?
Yes, there is.
Majorly, the Xbox 360 controller can be used as a PC joypad, but otherwise, there are so many brands out there. Madcast do a lot of PC. Even I think Logitech go into the foray of PC joypads. So there are so many good ones they could use. But if he's playing Steam, Xbox 360 controller is the easiest one to use.
Yeah.
And final question: is Sony planning on making 4K TV compatible games?
I strongly think so. I wouldn't be surprised if the next PlayStation is called PS4K.
Just push the resolution as far as possible. That's how technology is.
Right. Well, there we are. That just about wraps up our look at gaming for this week. It's been an interesting one. Nice to have the guys Fifi and Sparkileptic with us once again. If people want to check out your reviews and everything,
they should log on to www.youtube.com/theregion2show. 2 being the number 2.
We have all sorts of video game reviews and video coverages from the Arab world in Arabic.
And we have a huge competition up now running for the next 2 weeks, so
check us out.
Check us out.
We will. And Samit?
Hey, if they want more stuff on GameOn, just go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/gameon.ae, and if they want news on Video Games Live, stay tuned for that. It's facebook.com/videogameslive, MEME as in Middle East.